Hi, in this lecture we are going to discuss about how to connect to database using Python. So the agenda of the lecture will be what is the need for connecting to database, and then MySQL connector. This is the package we are going to use, and we are going to see how to connect to MySQL backend, right? And then how to create a database, because we know that a group of tables will be put under a database when you are going to do a project and so on, and how to do the CRUD operations: create, retrieve, update, and the delete operations. So let us consider this problem. An enterprise planning software is implemented in an organization, and in the database they have got three separate tables. One for storing the personal details like employee's name, date of birth, address and mobile number. Another one like job details, what is the nature of the job, what is the skill he has got, what qualification, and what is the designation, and so on. There is a third table, salary details. Okay, so in this table he has got the information like what is his basic pay, incentives, and then the total salary. Now HR has got a problem. He wants to know the mobile number of all employees with the particular skill S1 and salary more than 10,000. So if this is a task, now we have to refer multiple tables, right? So you have to find out the people who have got skill S1. You have to check this job details table, and to know the salary you have to check this salary details table, and then you have to check this personal table also to retrieve the mobile number, right? And we can write definitely queries. SQL queries can be done, but you have to go to the database and then you have to run it, and it will be on the console. Complicated queries, that is the difficulty, and we may have to do more operations also on the fields that we retrieve later on. So it is better to write Python code with which we can connect to the database and get the details to the front end. That's what we are going to discuss now. So when you look at the input for the problem, the database connection details are required, and when you look at the output, the name and mobile number of the employees who has got this skill S1 and salary more than 1 lakh will be given. And when you look at the concepts involved, you will see that the type of the database software used, that is very important, because we know that backend can be either Oracle or MySQL or PostgreSQL, and multiple vendors are there, SQLite, so many vendors are there for SQL. So you have to see what type of database software you have got, because accordingly we have to choose the appropriate package in Python to connect with it. And also you have to know the connection details, whether the SQL is present in your own system, or if it is in a cloud where you have to connect, or if it is a remote machine, you have to know the connection string and so on, as well as you have to know the user credentials also to do this. So now in this course we are going to see how to connect with MySQL. MySQL is a very popular backend which can hold a lot of data. Transactional database is also being maintained in MySQL. So we are going to use one particular package, that is MySQL.connector for writing the code. So you have to install it. Actually pip install. Pip is the package management software which is used to install packages that is written in Python. When you look at this particular package, what we are going to use, it is implemented using Python. So you can connect, you can install using this pip. Okay, so pip is a package management system which will install and manage software packages which is written in Python. So we are going to use that to install the things, and any package which is written in Python can be installed like this: pip install and the particular package name. And as we saw already, we are going to use MySQL connector here. And when you look at this MySQL connector, it will enable the Python program to access the MySQL database, and it supports all the features up to MySQL Server version 5.7. It also takes care of the parameter values, because in the front end the representation may be a little bit different from the representation at the back end. That is, Python representation may be different from the MySQL representation, right? But this particular package takes care of all the conversions when the parameters are going to be passed from front end to back end and so on. how we are going to connect to MySQL, right? So we are going to have a MySQL connection object for it, right? So we have to get the MySQL connection object. So the first step what we will do is we will import the package. So import mysql.connector, and then you have to get the MySQL connection object by using this connect function, and you have to pass the host. If it is on the same machine in which you are working, then you will give it as localhost where the MySQL server is present, the database that you have to give. If it is a remote machine which is present somewhere else, or if it is in cloud, then you have to specify the connection string for connecting to it. That's what we will give it in host, and user will be the username by which we are going to connect, and password will be the corresponding password. And once we open the connection, it is must that before we conclude the program, we have to close it. We have to do all the operations in between and we have to close it. So how we can execute? So we have seen how to establish a connection. How we have to establish is using the MySQL connection object. How you can get the connection object is by using the connect function. Okay. And next is how we can execute the query. How we can execute the query is we have to have something called as MySQL cursor object, through which we can execute the query. So how we can get the cursor object is from the MySQL connection object you can get the cursor object. So you look at the code. First thing is, again, just import the connector and then establish the connection. When you establish the connection, you will get MySQL connection object, and using the connection object you can get the cursor object, MySQL cursor object. Okay. First thing what we are going to discuss is how to create a database. Through the code, how we can create a database. That's what we are going to discuss first. So from the cursor object we can execute the commands as we are executing on the terminal, right? So when we are going to give on the terminal, when I want to create a database in the MySQL terminal, what I will do is I will say create database followed by the database name. So here also what we can do is we can just first of all import it and then establish the connection, second step. Third step is create the cursor. Fourth step is creating the object. So when you look at it, look carefully. I will use the my cursor. There is a cursor object, MySQL cursor object, and then I will call the execute function, for which I can pass the command. Here the command is create database and then followed by the name of the database. VitolDB is the name of the database which I am going to create, and then after that close the connection. Clear? So these are all the steps for creating the database. Most of the steps are common for functions what we are going to do in this course. So first thing is you have to import the package. Second one is you have to establish the connection. Third one is you have to get the cursor object. Fourth one is using the cursor object you are going to execute the SQL query and then close the connection, right? So let us see this code. I have already typed this code and kept it today the same code only. So now I am going to show a different way for executing. What I am going to do is I am going to open it on the terminal, right? And then I am going to type Python followed by the name of the file which I am going to run now. Create db.py, right? It is there. And in another terminal I have already logged in for MySQL. So what I can do is I can say show databases. Yeah. So you can see that VitolDB is now created. And when I want to go inside the VitolDB database, I have to give the command as use VitolDB. So now I am going to just say show tables. You will see that no tables are here because it's a new database that we have created just now. And next what we are going to see is how to create a table. So look at the steps in creation of the table. The same thing. First of all, import the package and then you connect. Now there is a small difference in the connection procedure. you will give the host, you will give the username, password, and then the database name, because you are going to connect to that particular database itself, and then get a cursor object, right, and then execute the thing. Right, now what I am going to do is the same command which we will give in SQL, I am going to run. See, create table, student1 is the name of the table, and roll is the field name. It is going to be integer and it's going to be primary key, right? So I am giving it as primary key, and then name followed by the data type of name. It's a varchar of size 255, and then next I am going to have marks. So there are going to be 3 fields: roll, name, and then marks. Roll is going to be the primary key, roll and marks are integer, and name is going to be a string. Okay, so we are now going to execute this particular line on the database. So a table will be created. Since we have connected to the database VitalDB, inside VitalDB this table will be created, and then we are closing the connection. So let us take the corresponding code on the terminal and see. Create table is the code, the same code is here. Now I am going to run this particular code. So let me go to the terminal and say Python create, okay, table, underscore is there, table.py. Yeah, I think it's successful. Let us go and check. Previously when we checked, there was no table. Now you can see that student1 table is there. I can describe the student1 and check whether it is as required. Yes, you can see that roll number is an integer and it's not null because it's a primary key, right? Name and marks are also there. Okay, now let us come back. Next, what we are going to see is how to insert records in the table. We have created the database. Inside the database, we have created one table. Now, we are going to discuss how to insert values into it, right? So, once again, as I said in the beginning of the session itself, you will have similar procedures only. First thing is import the package, and then you will use the connection string and connect to the MySQL backend server, right? Now I am connecting through the database, okay, to a particular database. So I am saying database equal to the name of the database, and then get the cursor object and then execute the command, right? So when you execute the command, now I am going to insert, right? So insert into student1. This will be student1. The values 1, Sarfaraj, 80. These are values. First one is going to be the roll. Second one is going to be the name. Third one is going to be the marks. Okay, and then I am using the comment function. Comment function will save the changes in the database, and then I am going to print record inserted successfully and except. See, this try except we have seen in the previous week about exception and handling. So when something unexpected happens, if the table name is wrong or something, then exception will rise. So when exception rise, this particular block of code will get executed. So what here it will do is, it will just roll back the command. So if it has initiated some changes in the table, then that will be rolled back. That is what is given here, roll back, right? If it is successful, we will comment. If it is not successful, then we have to roll back and close the database connection for both the cases, right? So let me take the code there for insert. Insert table. Here, yeah, I have to insert into student1. That change I have to make. First I change the table name. Yeah. So I can say like insert table dot py. Fine. So record inserted successful, it is saying. So I can go to the database backend and see select star from student1. Yes, all the 3 records are inserted. Okay. Next. So next operation include is creation. So we have seen how to create. So creation of database is done. Creation of table inside the database is done. Creation of data inside the tables is also done. Next is R in CRUD. Okay, R means retrieving. So how to read the rows from the table? How we are going to do is same thing. We are going to execute the query through the cursor object, and the cursor object now will have a result set when something is getting returned. When you see the previous things, whatever we have done, the creation of database or creation of table or inserting into the row, nothing was returned. But now we are going to retrieve. Retrieve means something will be returned by the command, right? So that will be stored in the result set, and from the result set you have to fetch it. There are commands like fetch many, fetch all, fetch one. Actually fetch one will be helpful for retrieving the rows one by one. Fetch all will help to retrieve all the rows, and fetch many, you can specify that these many rows are required. Those functions will be helpful for retrieving the data, right, from the result set. So when you look at it, these functions return a list of tuples. What is being returned is from the result set, it is returned as a list of tuples, and if no rows are available, it will return a empty list. So when you look at the fetch many, for example, if you have a employees table, okay, this is just some example other than what we are discussing now. If there is a employee table, I am just saying that select staff from employee order by. This is a SQL command where you can do some kind of sorting. Order by employee number means it will sort based on employee number, and then I am using the fetch many function, and I am saying size equal to 2. Then the top 2 records will be taken and stored in head rows. It will be a list of tuples, okay, and then remaining rows, this is just a variable name, and I am using this fetch all. So what will happen is the top 2 has already come out and get stored in this head rows. Remaining things will be there, and that will be in the remaining rows. So now we will see how this fetch all will be helpful for retrieving the things. So import the package, connect to the database, and then get a cursor object, and then execute the command select staff from student 1, okay, and then you have to fetch all. I am going to fetch all the records, and you can just print one by one. For that we are just iterating over the list. Actually we have seen that this result will be a list of tuples, okay. So we are going to take the row one by one. Fetch all will retrieve all the rows and put it as a list. Each row will be stored as a tuple, okay. So I am going to take the value one by one from the list. So each value will be a tuple. So I will be a tuple. For I in result means I will be a tuple. I am taking it, and then I know that the first field is roll number and so on. So I am just saying roll equal to I of 0, and so row name equal to I of 1, the marks equal to I of 2, and then print the values. And you have put this within the exception block. So try block, except will, this will be executed only when some exception occurs, where you will print like there is some error, and you will close the database connection. So we can go to that code, display code. So in the display code, let me give it as 1, and what I will do is I'll just print and show you what is going to be the so for printing, better to open and ideally so that there is no indentation problem. Print type. We have already seen in our course that type will print the data type of the variable. Now result is a variable. Now when you say print type of result, you will get the data type of result. Similarly, when I say type of I will get the data type of I. You will see that it will be a list, and this will be a tuple. So result set is a result set is going to be list of tuple. Yeah, you can see that first it is printing list, and then tuple and the corresponding values is getting printed. Similarly, second time also it's printing tuple, because there are 3 rows and I have put this data type inside, printing of data type inside the loop. 3 times it is getting printed. So it is clear that result set will be a list of tuples. Next, what we are going to discuss is update a table. How we can update a table. We know already that update command can be executed. So follow the same procedures of importing the package, making a connection, getting a cursor, and then executing the command. And also you do a commit so that it becomes successfully inserted. So what we are doing here is we are going to update student 1 table and set name equal to Ramu, marks equal to 100, where roll equal to 1. We can give like this so that the record will get updated. So let us go and check the update thing. Yeah. Yes, we can go to the database and check now. Yes, we can see that there is a change in the name. Okay, we changed the name to Ramo and then marks to 100. We can say that the change is getting reflected in the database. Okay, and next is delete. How to delete a record from the table. The same thing, you can write the delete command and you can delete it. And one more thing is, we can also do multiple insertions. Before we conclude, let us see how we can do multiple insertions with the parameters and so on. So let me show the code to you. So insert table, parameters, you can see these steps will be same, like you are importing the package and then establishing the connection and then cursor, but the query we write will be different. You can see here, insert into student, and then you are mentioning the database fields like roll, name, marks, and values. You will say percentages according to the number of fields here. There are 3 fields, so you will say 3 times values, percentages, percentages, percentages. Okay, and then val. I am creating a tuple, right? I am creating a tuple with 3 elements. According to the number of fields, you have to have number of elements in the tuple. There are 3 fields, so we are going to have 3 elements in the tuple. Correspondingly, 4 will be the roll number, name will be John, and marks will be 98. And then we are going to execute the query, right? So you will give execute query comma val. So this corresponding values will be substituted here, right? So this is how we can have parameters in the query, and we can replace it with the values whatever is required. We can have even variable names. We can interact with the user, get the values in some variable names, and also do it. So let us execute this query and check this file and check. So Python insert table underscore parameters dot py, right? So go back to the, here we should have now 4 records. Yes, 4th record is also inserted now, John 98. Okay, and one more thing you have to see is how to insert table with many parameters. So the same way of connections is done and the cursor object is got. Query is also same, right? What we saw in the previous thing when we inserted using parameters. The same way we write the queries also. But when you look at the values, instead of having a single tuple, we are going to have 3 tuples, because we saw that result set is also a list of tuples. And when we want to insert multiple values also, you create a list of tuples where the number of elements of the tuples will be equal to the number of fields in the database. Here I have 3 fields, so I have got a tuple of 3 elements. So I am trying to insert 3 records, and when you execute this code, you can give execute, or there is one more way. execute many. You have to use the execute many function for executing this, and you can see that it will get executed. Okay. Or execute will also work. Yeah, it's I will check and also update it before I upload the file. Should work. I don't know what's the problem. Execute many is correct only. And let me update it. Update the file before uploading the material. We'll check once. Okay, let me check and update it. So these are all the ways in which you can do insertion, deletion, and so on. So in this lecture we have seen about what is the need of knowing about database connections, and we are going to focus on MySQL database, and the package we are going to use is MySQL connector. So we have seen how to create a database, create a table, insert into the table, retrieve from the table, insert with parameters, how you can do, with many records how you can do, and updating a record as well as delete operations, right? Okay, thank you.